Yeah, hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to CICD GKE session. So here we have to implement the CICD on GKE workload. So you can see the diagram here. So we have the source code. In the source code you have the main.py file, docker file and the cloud build YML file. So main.py is basically it is used for the applications, one of the web app, and docker file that is required to create the image using the runtime, okay, including the runtime, and the cloud build YML file that is required to create the automated process, like it will create the image. Okay, and once created the image, it will be push the image to the content registry in the Google Cloud, and that image would be applied in our workload. So so take an example. Suppose in your Google workload, suppose you have implemented one of the web app, okay, in the web app, and you want to change something, like suppose you want to change from the version 1 to version 2, okay. So like whenever you will change anything in the image, like suppose you want to change from the version 1 to version 2, okay, if you change it on the back end, it will be create and it will updated inside the image, and that image would be applied in your workload, so that in sometimes your work, like whatever the image you have built, it will updated and it will be implemented in your workload. Okay, so that end user after some time, I mean, one completed this automated process without affecting, okay, the end user can able to access the version 2 application, I mean the version 2 web app. Okay, so in order to implement this CI/CD in the GKE workload, so first of all we have to create one GKE cluster, that would be the manual process. Then we have to create some sample workload to make sure our GKE cluster is working fine. And in order to browse or in order to validate, we have to expose the port and we have to create the service so that I can browse that web UI using my load balancer IP, I mean the public IP, to make sure my workload is working fine, so that after that I can create or I can do the automated CI/CD process. Before implementing the CI/CD automated process, make sure all the manual things are working fine as per our expected. Before creating the automated process, we have to create the repo. So in the repo, like whatever the code, so source code we have written, we have to clone into repo. Okay, and we have to also write the cloud build YML file. In the cloud build YML file, first of all we have to clone our source code. Then we have to build the image, and once build the image, it will update the image in our workload. Okay, so basically we required main.py file, docker file, and the cloud build YML file. So cloud build YML file, it is required to automate the process. Okay, so whenever I will implement or whenever I will write the cloud build YML file, then you can see and you can confirm, like the how I'm writing the code. Okay, so you can see that. So once created our required files, I mean the main.py file, docker file, as well as the cloud build YML file, then we have to create triggering the cloud build. So cloud build, basically it will connect to the source repository. So whatever the changes you will be do inside the code, it will update it, and according to that it will created the updated image. And once created the updated image, it will be pushed into the GCR, which is the Google Cloud Registry. Okay, and that image we are already using in our workload. So whenever you will change anything and whenever it will create the new build image, okay, so the same build image would be applied in your workload. Okay, so that whatever the contents you are updating in the your code, that would be automated applied your destination, which is the your Google Cloud workload. So here we have to create the triggering in the cloud build, and while creating the cloud build, maybe we have to encounter some error. Okay, so we have to analyze the error, and if it required to change any permission, and while create if the cloud build got failed, then we have to change it, and according to that we have to validate our to make sure our triggering is working fine, I mean the cloud build is working fine. Okay, And once our cloud build is working fine, and after that we have to update it some contents inside the main.py file. Okay, then we have to commit that and we have to push the latest contents to our repo. Okay, because whatever we have already created the pipeline, so that if we change anything in our source, so automatically it will be applied our destination in the our Google Cloud workload. Okay, it will change, it will update it. Okay, and it will create the new image, and after build the new image, it will be post the new image to the Google Cloud registry. It means whole process should be performed by our Google Cloud pipeline. Okay, like using uh, like your Google Cloud build YML file. Okay, so guys, let's go to the Google Cloud Console to implement this CI/CD pipeline for the GKE workload now.